template for us to write the agenda and everything. She already prepared it for last week or last time that we had a meeting, but I just forget to begin it with. I mean, it was kind of. I knew that it was there. I was trying to use it, but let's do that time properly. So I'm going to share it and write a little bit the agenda. It's over here. Where can I share it? Maybe in TC1 Hive. I still feel that we need another channel for tech params or garden swarm. But yeah, let's start with setting up. Well, actually, what we can do is, as usually, have an initial round. I would like to propose a question for this week, which is, how did you first get in contact with the crypto space? How did you get involved, or how did you heard about it the first time? For example, my first time on hearing about the crypto space was very soon when I was in a squad in Amsterdam, and there was the Bitcoin paper over the table because somebody came the week before and brought it and said that is going to be the future of cryptocurrency, of the currency. The state currency is dead. We were very anarchists. I still consider myself anarchist. And this is how I heard of it the first time. Who would like to go next?
I can go. First time I heard about it was a video by Trace Mayer. It was definitely, I think it was early. It was definitely like Bitcoin was under $10, but I could never figure out how to turn. The only way to get it Bitcoin was to wire money to Japan to Mt. Gox, and that seems super sketch. I don't like using the banks, so I just like it didn't come back. It was something that was there, but I never really got to like play with it until one of my friends found out about Coinbase and bought some Bitcoin and sent them to me. It's like, and I gave them gold, actually, gold and silver for that. And I'll pass it to Zep.
Thank you, Griff. The first time for me was with my thesis on the university. Sam was telling me, you should do your thesis about Bitcoin. I really don't know what to do it about. And he was incentivizing me, I will give you some Bitcoin. Like, so yeah, and that was the first time. Yeah, I'll pass it to Tom.
So I actually don't remember the very first time I would have heard the word Bitcoin or about Bitcoin, but I remember the first time I started taking it seriously, and it was ironically, the blockchain, not Bitcoin, that first really, I guess, got its hooks into me. And there's a number of videos, and one was a Dan Tapscott video, TED video. And then, from there, you just see the amazing potential that blockchain can have, even though at the time nothing was built then. So I became interested in trading because that was the avenue that was really available. And then I started becoming more and more obsessed with Bitcoin through the Andreas and Tanap and Litlises and the Safe Deans of the world. And I was like, oh, wow, this is bigger than changing the world just from a socio-political governance model, but also what is money? And then it went down that rabbit hole pretty deep. And came back full around now to building on blockchain with you guys. So it's been a wild ride. I started taking it seriously at the end of 2016. That's when I had my aha moment. Hey, Craig, I'd love to pass to you.
Am I working? It looks like it. Nice. Let's see. So I heard of the Bitcoin white paper shortly after it was released. So, 2009-ish. But I did not act upon that. First investment was 2013. Still didn't get serious until 2015, 2016. And then traded for a long time through the big rise in 2017. And then sort of...
But how did you heard about it? Was it in the news or a friend? Or?
It was a friend. I have a libertarian sort of friend. And also I had taken some losses during the 2008 sort of dive personally, and it was a little bit bitter in general. And the rest. And then I started this sort of fundraising nonprofit stuff and moved completely away from trading, and now I'm here building with you guys. Let's see, Fabi.
Yeah. I have two different stories. The first time that I heard from Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency, it was when Bitcoin reached, I don't know, like $500. I was reading a news with a friend, and we thought, it's too late to buy a Bitcoin. It was like, I don't know, 8 years ago or so. And then a while ago, I was working on the same place with some of the guys that now are working on One Hive with Rodri, Gabi, and Fabri. And they started to ask me to start learning Solidity, smart contracts, and all that stuff. This is why I got involved to the community. I will pass to Ray.
All right, so I was at Barcelona during the summer vacation. I was still a kid, and I was with my uncle, and he introduced me to Ethereum. He said, like, it's going to be the next big thing. So that's the first time I got involved into the crypto space. But after he told me about, well, I was still a kid, so I didn't really do anything with that information. I didn't go down through a rabbit hole or anything until later, when the price already went from like $3 to like, I don't know, it was like 300 or something like that. And that's when I really got involved and started reading more blog posts and researching more about crypto space as a whole. Who didn't go yet? I think everyone.
You were the last.
Yep.
Great. Okay, that's quite funny. That everybody had their beginning in some way. We have some already some points in the agenda. For example, review and update issues in zenhub. See how we are going to do the commons upgrade. The commons upgrade is once we have the money in the test hatch, we are going to upgrade the DAO into a DAO, another DAO. We will be talking about that today. Also, we will be talking about the improvements in the hatch frontend that I discussed with Fiore 1 week ago, and she's not here today, but we can see what should be done, and let's see if we can do those improvements. And does anybody have any other topic that we can discuss today?
I had like a quick question on the Hatch smart contracts. If there were any just updates, I guess just an update on anything that we've learned from the Hatch that like we might want to change, especially.
Okay, let's add it, because let's add it because I had an initial meeting with Adrian, so I can talk about that. Okay, let's first review and update the issues in zenhub. I never know how to do that the proper way. Maybe you can take it for me. Thank you. Thank you, Griff. Go ahead.
I was trying to share screen, but I couldn't unmute and do that at the same time. So, okay, but you can lead if you'd like. Well, so like, what
Yeah,
I'd say is
go ahead, please.
maybe before
Let's see what was pending, and we can remove some of them. The problem with these things is that we have an initial MVP, but for me it never is enough because we have a front end. We did a huge progress during the last weeks. For Ryan, who was not here, what we have is front end in which people can see a video and contribute to the hatch, and we already have the hatch template in which the money is split into balls. It's quite interesting. We did a huge progress, but now we have to refine those things. So I don't know if we should be closing the things that were there and open new issues for the things that are missing, or just let those things open until we consider them completely finished.
Well, I think the first step is to prioritize a little bit. Like, what I just got out of a sprint planning meeting that Tamara beautifully organized, and one of the first steps was, what's our goal? What's our mission? What's our theme? Like, what's the goal of this sprint? And I would imagine that it's to get the commons upgrade going is probably the top priority, right?
Let's do it.
What are there any other priorities?
We have until Thursday to prepare the commons upgrade. Actually, we are going to prepare it, and it will take 1 week or so in order to pass the vote. So we can have it. We have until Thursday, I guess, or Friday to do that. But also, it's also a good moment to do the remaining things that we have to do in the hatch frontend. For example, to merge. I don't know if it's already mergeable or not, but if the work is already completed or not. But it will be very great to merge the work that Fabi has been doing on the tech UI in the hatch, because these are the last days of the first hatch rehearsal, and it will be great to have the show to people. Maybe in this weekly meeting. And it's already a pull request that is out there.
Sorry. Do we have a pattern of like, okay, we merge a pull request, it goes into a develop branch or a develop environment, and then it merges to master, or not really? Just it's like merge the PR, hope it works.
Right now, master is development. Maybe in the future we will have something that is more production and then development. But right now, everything that we feel that people should be trying goes there. So we could merge it into master. Yeah.
How long do you think it'll take to merge to master? That's the thing. If there's problems, then then you just have to revert, right?
I think that Fabi had it already. Fabi, can you tell us?
Yeah, which PR are you talking about? Sorry.
I am the one that merges the Tech UI into the hatch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I would need your help on this thing, just for a quick thing. There is the deployment tool that we are using. It's not deploying the all the assets correctly, and the UI is the thing that we get on the end. It looks really weird. But I think it's something on the configuration on the verse too. This is why that PR wasn't merged yet.
Okay. When do we have the? When can I help you in that? When do you want to catch up?
I don't know. Today after this call, or maybe tomorrow morning.
Okay, let's do it today after the call.
Okay.
Great. And that will be one of the things that could be really cool. Fiore is also going to work on the design of two things. Maybe I could share it. I will be sharing it later, okay, because it's another point. But Fiore is going also to be redesigning the hatch frontend, and somebody will need to do the front end, some fixes in the front end. And the other thing, the last thing, is to do that contract in which we get all the money from the vaults and move them into a new DAO, and then we also create a new token and initialize the token manager of the new DAO with that token. That is the vote, the commons upgrade that we are talking about. That is two parts. That's what I was telling Griff about last time. There are two parts here. One is doing that vote or that contract, and the other one is to have a template that is prepared for accepting a token and not having the initial phase of the hatch in it. We still have to prepare it. So at least we are going to have the first thing, that contract that moves the funds to another place. But I cannot guarantee to have the upgrade in the contract in which we don't require the initial part. I still have to check it out, and I will be working on that part during this week.
So you're going to work on the part where you make the smart contract, but I don't. So that when someone votes, or when we propose the vote, it does a bunch of things all at once, right? Issues tokens, makes the vaults, like fills the right vaults, and blah blah blah. What was the other? What's the other part of that you mentioned? I didn't understand that.
Readapt the template and the market maker application so they can be used without the hatch part.
So it's the marketplace app. It's like change the marketplace app so that, oh no.
It doesn't require a hatch.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of work.
Well, most of it, yeah. This is why I'm not so convinced that it will be done soon enough, but doesn't require a lot of work because the work is already done. We still have to decide if we are still using two contracts or going with one. It's more like a decision on how we want to build that and which are the trade-offs. It's more like research, but it will not require much more work because the contracts are already done.
And that's also on you, Sam? Or is there someone else that you could pass this to, or either one of those tasks?
The thing is that I am going to focus on the first one, and this one is not going to. I'll wait a little bit because it's also part of the. It's also part of the things that we are not working right now on. We're working on the. We are focusing on the hats and
Oh no!
this
Well,
first part.
no, I don't think we.
And
I think we're done. Well, I would say the hatch is on basically on pause, right? I think this is the focus, getting the marketplace upgrade.
I still want to be sure that everything is working well with the hats. And yeah, that's going to be it's the subsequent thing.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is the hatch. We're users are testing it right now, right? And so issues will accumulate, and it's almost better to be like, okay, don't look at them, because they'll just be they will pile up, and then you can take them all when the hatch is done. That would be my recommendation. And then once we have the commons upgrade, there'll be like these 7 days where they have to vote on it and all this stuff. The vote has to be ready before this is really done, right?
Yes, yeah.
So
the thing is that that first part in which we have only the vote and the upgrade, it can go into a DAO that is much more simpler than a commons. That we have to do that in any way because we need to. We have to. We cannot do everything at once. So I guess the first part, it's better to just focus on the first part, and the second part, I don't know if somebody wants to take it, but we still have some time. I also wanted to share the Miro board that we had, and we still have some time to focus on the second part, and that first part is like let's have the things working very well and be sure that everything is working well, that there is good quality in the things that we do. And also it's very important to have the documentation because that's also another of the points. I was talking with Adrian, what he wanted mostly was I need some documentation in order to have everything clear. And I think that it's very, very good advice to have very clear what is going on with every part of the code. So we have to be working on that too. So I guess that we could close the things that we were working on, probably, because I think that we did a lot of progress and we can close some of them and update it.
Sorry, just making issues.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, the Tech UI library, that's something that you're going to review, right? Oh, come on, you can do it.
Yeah, that's a pull request.
Ah. There is make this tech token TEC token. Oh yeah, this is for
That's the first part.
template.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. That can be done in the next rehearsal.
Yeah. And it's also a pull request. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'll leave it open, but it's a pull request to the new DAO JS, which is not even being used anymore. It's a new Hatch JS. So
it will be, because it's going to be it's going to create the commons DAO in which the DAO is going to be upgraded.
the new DAO JS will be the commons upgrade,
Mhm.
and then new Hatch
Let's say
JS
that
will
the
be
commons
the Hatch.
let's say that the commons upgrade is going to be the vote, but it's going to move everything into the new DAO. And it's going to be created with the new DAO JS. We can change the name and
Okay.
say new commons or something like that, or new gardens.
Yeah. New comments. It's a bonding curve. Anyway, okay, so let's see. What issues can we close? Do you have any off the top of your head? It seems like the time between approve and stake takes too long. That seemed to get better. Do you guys fix that?
No.
No?
I don't know if... No, there is an issue in which if it fails, the second part doesn't... The second transaction never happens. So Paulo and Gabi are already working on that. The
Nice.
I mean, that's the major issue with the hatch right now, because it's an error that is causing people not... It happens sometimes, and it's causing people problems. But right now, after the holidays and also with Paulo down, it might take some more little time.
Do you know what the name of that? Oh, okay. So they're still working on it.
Mhm.
What is manage exit tribute properly?
Okay, that's in the bonding curve. And it is the convert. You should see how much you are going to receive instead of... because right now the exit tribute is not discounted from the amount. Maybe I'm explaining that. When you go to convert.tc, the exit tribute is not discounted when you are converting. Actually, it's discounted, but you don't see it in the front end. So it's you only see it when you have realized the transaction. And it should appear like in Uniswap, that you see the exit tribute is that much. So you are going to receive that much.
No, better than Uniswap. HoneySwap.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, okay, cool. Is this seems like something that doesn't need to be in the sprint backlog? It's like something that
exactly.
It's not blocking commons upgrade.
No, not at all.
This also is not blocking commons upgrade. That's not blocking commons upgrade. Get the reserve ratio from the contract.
Yeah, exactly. This is already a pull request that we... I'm not sure if BB fixed it or not, but I will check it out. If it's still in review, it's not blocking it.
It's not blocking anything, but it should get merged before we make other changes to the upgrade, right?
They are issues from the convert.
Yeah, these are all.
By the way, I think that the only thing that we can focus right now is on the Hatch frontend and on the Commons upgrade. And then if there are other things that we can still be working, we have time until we really need them.
Nice. Well, it looks like this can be closed. Looks like Rain actually did this already. The info banner merged.
Great. Cool. Let's close it.
Yay. TEC help link to gather user. So this would be to maximize the impact of the actual, so that it's easier for people either to make issues or gather feedback in a form or something. Like if it's even just like, here's an email address, send something to us. Or here's a chat room where you can talk about how much this app can improve. Just finding some way to get user feedback.
I guess that there are already a lot of services that allows you to add that button. I know that Aragon was using one. And Fiore, I didn't see you.
Hi, sorry. I saw that we didn't have a meeting today. Happy New Year for everyone. Sorry.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So Aragon's using a service for.
Yeah, I think that it's not blocking, but I know that you have been asking for it for so long. I don't want to put that backwards.
Well,
Maybe
I just wonder, you know, what's if we're doing these tests and not capturing all the feedback, you know, then like, what's the point of doing the tests?
Yeah, you're right. Maybe Rain or Fabi would like to do that. I don't know, guys. Yeah, would you like to take that issue? Because I think that it's not going to take long.
Sure. Yeah. No problem.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
Okay,
I don't want to. I don't want to throw it.
No, it's fine. I'll
on
double
you.
check it again.
Okay.
So, do you know what the name of this service was?
It's in
It
was in the Aragon client. Let me. I will update the issue later.
Yeah, and Rain can always bug you about it too. Because that sounds like the easiest path. There's a different path in here, Rain. You can ignore it. Just solve the problem.
Right, will do.
Great. Manage graph and XDI node errors. This is in the interface. It's pretty old though. This doesn't seem like a blocker. It's for the.
I think that I'm not sure that was a big one because Pablo was working on that one, and if you remember, we had some problems at the beginning. Yeah, I would like to ask Pablo what's the state of that. We did not fix it properly, I think.
It's something
working at the moment. The thing is that it's working at the moment. Yeah, I remember now. Sorry. The graph was down during a time, and many projects had problems with it. But then it fixed. If you want to close it, we can close it. Or if you want, we can learn from the experience.
I'll let Paulo close it and see if there's something he feels like needs to happen with it.
Yeah. I think that it would be very clever to learn from the experience and have a plan B in case it happens again.
Yeah.
But the only thing that we did was just ask in the Discord of the graph and see that many people had the same problem.
Nice. Well, there's another issue. Adapt the hatch front end to the new contract. Is that done? I think
I don't know.
it is by Paulo. I mean, I'm pretty sure that we have the hatch front end, the new contract.
Yeah, we have that. Yes, we can close it.
And TEC help link. Okay, that's on it. Improve the hatch documentation for auditing. What's the story on that?
That's one of the points that I wanted to discuss. I have been talking with Adrian. I had a call with him on 28th, and he's super glad to be reviewing the code. He thinks that the code is quite well organized. He would have preferred to have a central point in which everything is controlled, like another way to program the things, like somewhere in that you can follow everything that it's going on. Right now we are not using that, and we said it's already done in that other way in which we have what we could call callbacks or like modules, different applications that call one to each other. And it can be a little bit more difficult to follow all the states that the smart contracts go. And this is why we need to document very well what should happen in each one of the states. So this is why I am working on a state machine diagram in which the DAO is going to go through various states, and you cannot go to the next until you have finished the previous one. But yeah, we need to document it. Okay, we need proper documentation.
So from the state machine diagram, is that enough, or did he want more than that?
A little bit more documentation on everything. I don't have it right now here. I had some notes, but I don't know if that was the important part. I will check it out later if we had something else.
Okay, well, you should be able to edit this issue. I'll just add like this like state machine as like just one, and if there's more pieces to it, you can, add that there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you're taking this one on though, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's.
I will add the hatch front-end improvement that they should not be done in this sprint. I mean, I don't think that we have time to have them complete, but I know that Fiore is going to be working on redesigning some parts of the hatch. Maybe she can explain in a moment. And
Yeah,
also,
sure.
I would like to know if somebody would like to do them, to implement them in the front end. Would you like to go ahead, Fiore?
Yes, sure. I can share with you the designs because I have, based on what we discussed, David, I make some changes. So if you want, I can share my screen.
Wow, that's lovely. I didn't know if you could. I mean, it was holidays.
Yeah, but I work today, so
That's
I
great.
have it. Yeah. Just can you see my screen?
Yes. Wow.
Great. Let me hide this. Well, related to what we discussed, that maybe that circle with the percentage didn't work because we will have more than the, because we need to indicate the minimum and what we have been raising. So I work with this idea. I was just trying some stuff. I think this can work because it's more clear how the user can see the total amounts. But I was just exploring some more. And here for the new contributions, what we discussed is that we need to have the max redeemable with this, just to be more clear for the user that he's not going to get all the amounts. And well, that is what I have until this moment.
Okay,
And
let's do a quick.
sorry, what?
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, no problem. I was just going to mention that, well, I need to change this, but what we discussed with David too is that we should remove the button here if the user doesn't have the account connected, and put a message that he needs to connect the account. Well, that's it. Go ahead, David. Sorry that I interrupted.
Okay, just to contextualize a little bit. Right now, as Fiore was saying, there is that buy pre-sale shares. Maybe we should also change the name in the button. And the thing is that it's not appearing anywhere that that you need to have CSTK tokens in order to contribute in the hatch or to mint. I don't know which is the correct word here. Griff was talking about mint or stake.
Yeah, minting and staking are the best words because they don't mean anything in a financial sense. So
Okay.
that's a good thing. But buying, I sent you an issue. Buying, no one's buying nothing. Okay. Yeah, I already made an issue for that actually and sent it to you on the program.
Okay. And also, well, as you can see here, I mean, there are many things. Let's go one by one. One is that only people with CSTK tokens can stake tokens in the hatch.
Can mint TC
And mint TC. Yeah. That's really weird language.
Well, that's what they're doing, right? They're minting the tokens.
Yeah.
You can say contribute. It's like it's in the gray area. Contributes in the gray area.
It's okay.
You can also
Mean,
say send. Only people with this can send dye to it.
yeah. Okay. That's going to be weird. By the way, let's say mint TC or Sendai. I don't know. What do you think, Fiore? From your point of
I
view?
think that, well, I think that, yeah, we can use Mint. I think the user will understand that. And yes, to avoid legal problems, I think that's okay.
Okay. Okay. The thing is that there was 3 issues that we talked about. One is that we need to say that if in the case that you don't have CSTK tokens, you need to say you don't have, you cannot mint tokens, mint TC tokens. I don't know if that is already in the how we are depicting that. If we are depicting that already in the side panel.
Yeah, what we discussed was to show it there. Yeah, but I didn't do it yet.
Okay, great. That's one of the things that we need to change the front end. One of the things, the other thing was that percentage that can go upper than 100%. And the solution proposed here is like a thermometer in which we have a minimum and then we have an optimum, but it can even go much more on top of that. And the maximum, I don't know if we want to use the word optimum or use the word maximum, because in the contract we are going to have that maximum. But
we can change it.
I don't know if we can have some quick feedback, because we are 6 minutes before we close. I don't know if we have other things to discuss that we want to discuss today, or that's the last one.
I would like to make sure that Fabi has work to do if he wants it. See if there's something we could pass to Fabi that's critical. But other than that, I don't have any other issues.
Yeah. I don't know if you, Fabi, would like to be working on this part here when we have finished to merge the TEC UI.
Sure. I mean, there is a couple of minimum changes that are still pending on the UI that I need to discuss with Fiore, but yeah, I can take this for sure.
Great. So if that is the last point, I would like some quick feedback on this thermometer here. I still think that the circle fitted better, but maybe it's more like a personal view. And what do you think about that optimum? If we are going to have an optimum, or we put here, because what we have right now is that we are up to 50%, to 500% of our minimum goal, and our minimum goal can be very, very low. But if we are already 500%, we probably don't need more funds. Meanwhile, maybe the optimum is not that very little amount.
I would just call it the goal. And I think that we could make that be something where we like decide a goal amongst the crew, like that we're shooting for a goal. I think that's fine. But then what happens when it crosses, if it crosses the goal?
In that case is that that bar will stay the same, but the optimum will be the mark of the optimum will be similar to the other ones, and we can put there the number that we have now in. I mean, like the total, where is the optimum, and the optimum like similar to the others too.
Okay, we could like throw some confetti. It just becomes like a number. The number just gets bigger, and it's just like celebration, a little party animation in the background or something.
Oh, if we can do that, that will be awesome. Yeah. I
Right, we
can
did it.
design that. I would really like that.
Maybe when you are contributing, you can have that, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Some more
Okay.
party fun animations.
Yeah.
Okay, then we go with that optimum, and that's another parameter that it's not going to be on the smart contract. That's what I am not quite sure about, if we should have it, if we should have that optimum or not, or if it should be the maximum and that's all, or if we are going to have a maximum that it's infinite, so it doesn't have sense to have that
Well,
maximum.
there will always be a max because there's only so many CStack token holders. But I don't think the max is necessarily great for this. I really like having a goal, right? Like, there's like the impact hours ratio. Hourly rate is something, and we might have a min that's pretty low, but maybe we have a goal of making sure that impact hours are worth this much. Cultural build tribute is this percent. Yeah, we will, if we reach the minimum, we can do this. If we reach our goal, then we're doing it, and it's good to have even if it's not in the smart contracts, if it's a social goal. I think that's cool, and I think we could, at least with the tech params, we could even make that a question, right? When you're submitting parameters, what is the goal for your thing, or something like that.
Okay, to finish, that cultural build is going to be whatever it is, and it's going to be decreasing as soon as we are reaching new funding, and there will be that interrogant that will have some help text. So that's the calculation on how much is going to be the cultural build. And you can also have a glance on how much tokens are going to be redeemable. Fiore added it inside the side panel, and as a percentage, which is probably good enough, because the other option is to have the amount in WXDAI, but I think that it's good enough to say, okay, that's going to be the redeemable part, a certain amount. One of the problems that we have also is that it's not going to be really clear, because the cultural build is not yet decided, and it's
I
not
would
yet
say,
determined.
especially, that's the thing. Like, redeemable will be 100% if we don't reach our main goal, right? And then it'll be then it'll be like, oh, now it jumps to like 50% or something once we reach our main goal, and then it starts going up. I feel like maybe instead of trying to put a number and communicating that to people, we put a link and say something along the lines of, oh, these tokens are redeemable, and you can learn more here, because it's too complicated. I don't think we can communicate the idea in this space. not in a positive way, at least.
Okay, because that's something that, yeah.
I can share the link of the Figma, and if you want, you can left comments there, because I know the meeting we have passed the time, but so we can discuss that there, and I can make the changes.
Okay. Yeah, let's finish it. And thank you for coming, and let's be working on this during this week. I think that, yeah. Well,
Just
what did you want to say?
just before we go, were there any other? Are the only two issues that are blocking our Commons upgrade adapting the marketplace to live without the hatch and creating the smart contract for the vote? There's nothing else.
The other things
Okay.
are improvements that we are going to need, because are improvements on the front end and things that are going to need for the final version, but we don't have to do that for this time, and but it's very good to have them.
Of course. Okay, so then the other thing is for readapting the marketplace app to live without the hatch. Is there someone else I can assign that to?
I could be working with Paulo, for example, but he's not going to be. I hope that he recovers soon, but right now he's ill. I hope that I can do that just after the first part.
Okay. Well, there'll be a question on the 7th. What we, how? Let's say Paulo is not able to help. How long? If you had to give a date that when I go to the comms call and the soft go call and these things, when do you think the Commons upgrade vote might be possible?
We can have that vote in Friday or so, and the thing is that what do we want to be upgrading to? If we want.
So we have to choose the parameters.
We want to go to a DAO that has a bonding curve and conviction voting.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the good thing in order to do the whole research rehearsal, right?
Yes.
Let's try to have it for this Thursday.
Okay, if you think you can do it, that's bold, man. I mean, I don't know who else you can get to help, but that's quite the sprint.
Yeah, let's try to have it. Yeah. Let's try.
Zep,
Let's do it.
I'm gonna make a GitHub issue for you to feed Sam while he's trying to do it. Okay. I'm sorry for going over, guys. Fiore gave the good call. Thank you, Fiore, for keeping us on task.
No problem. I'm okay, but I don't know everybody. So.
Yeah. No, we should be good and not take everyone's time. So thank you, guys. And we'll see how you do, Sam. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you can dish anything off.